Welcome to the brand new podcast series from Ingram Micro, Simplifying Services, where we aim to educate our partners about our channel-centric professional, managed and maintenance services. In this first episode, we will dive into cloud services that Ingram Micro offers to help partners and end customers build a successful cloud business. As you know, I'm your host, Harpreet Narang, Head of Services Marketing at Ingram Micro. Today, I have with me Paul. So Paul, before we dive in, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role?
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Harpreet. So thank you for having us today. So I'm Head of Cloud Services inside Ingram Micro. So I look after all of our architects, consultants, engineers across all of the vendors that we support. So that includes things like Microsoft, AWS, VMware. And our job is to support partners and ultimately their end customers that don't have the capability or don't have necessarily the scale or breadth to be able to deliver all the services that ultimately their end customers need.
How can partners build a profitable cloud business? What would you say are the key steps?
Yeah, so we know one opportunity is for partners to provide resale ultimately to their end customers. So that could be through licenses, for example, if it's Microsoft 365, or it could be around consumption if we're talking more around the hyperscalers, so Azure or AWS. But just providing that resale element isn't going to provide a profitable business for them. So they need to think bigger. Ultimately, their customers as well, they need them to add value. They need them to be trusted advisors. With the quick changes that are happening in the cloud space, the customers themselves don't necessarily have the expertise or the knowledge on how to harness and embrace all of the capabilities that the cloud brings. So that's where those customers need their partners to step up, be that trusted advisor, add extra value into what they're doing. And there's different ways that we see and support our partners in being able to build that profitable practice. So one of those could be around high margin professional services. So that's where the customer has the partner coming in, talks them around their existing estate, what they're doing today, whether or not they're first or haven't moved into the cloud today as of yet, or whether or not they've already moved into the cloud and the what next piece. Then you can build that profitable professional services business by going in there, talking to the customer, understanding their use cases, understanding their needs, helping define and design what the future could look like for them. So that's one of the first steps. Second step would then be around actually having the consultants, the architects, the engineers to support that customer on the journey. So once we've defined what their North Star is going to look like, how do we actually make it happen? So having our team or the partners team involved in there to support the customer on the actual design of a target solution and the actual migration activities in there. So that creates the first sort of one-time migration activities to get the customer to the cloud. And once the customer's there, you can then look at the annuity services off the back of it. So for us, annuity could be managed services or reactive support services from that, optimization, so continuously ensuring the customer's environment is fit for purpose, it's the best cost-effective it can be, sustainability considerations, for example. So that's one element there around the annuity services. But equally, once the customer's into the cloud, that's when it opens up a whole host of transformational, innovative solutions. So that could be things, for example, around how we harness AI, data, machine learning. And that's often use case driven. So that's where a customer would need us as a partner or supporting a partner to go in there, understanding that business, understanding their challenges or their opportunities. And then from there, us helping define how we can use technologies inside cloud to embrace and create and develop those solutions for them. So that's a good annuity play there that's continuous. So it's ever evolving. The cloud's you don't migrate to the cloud once and that's done. There's continuous projects of continuous evolution that we can support.
So this creates a perfect opportunity for the partners to generate recurring business. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. And I've just described there how we can take a single customer on that journey. But then if you can turn that into a repeatable solution, then that's where the partner can then take that to all of their customer base. So maybe they work in a specific industry. So if you can have a defined end-to-end solution of taking the customer to the cloud, understanding the use cases those customers may have, then the annuity play we just talked about, if you can then wrap that into a repeatable solution, that means that partner can then take that continuously to many, many customers from there. And if we then look to wrap around automation, that then gives the partner the opportunity to, rather than just be charging per day for their consultants, for example, they can actually be charging for their IP or their solution. So, whether or not it takes 10 days or 2 days, that doesn't necessarily so much matter. It's more about having that defined outcome and then putting that together as part of their proposition and then taking that to all their customer base.
Such a fantastic opportunity for the partners to scale up their business. What do you think could be some of the challenges that our partners might face?
So we talked about what a partner could do, and there could be their IP, their solution end to end. But does the partner themselves actually have enough customer reach to be able to justify building the team they would need to have all of the necessary skills end to end? But not that's from their engineers, the consultants, the architects. That's a big team that's needed to be able to suffice all of their customers' potential needs.
And we are talking of headcount and a huge investment there.
Exactly. So, a lot of partners just aren't big enough today to be able to justify the headcount that would be needed. So that piece to start with, how do you get the right number of staff with the right number of opportunities out there? So that's challenge number one. Second one, as everyone's aware of, talent acquisition. So it's difficult out there to actually find the right people. So that's another challenge that they may face. Matching skills with the customer requirements. There's many things that a customer may need. How do you make sure you've got the right size team, but with the right skills as well off the back of that? Another one is key one is vendor programs.
Absolutely.
So, a lot of partners are on a journey to go through and have access to the relevant certifications and accreditations with a vendor, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have access to all of the funding programs and the motions that a vendor may have. So that, again, can create a blocker for individual partners in being able to create a big enough differentiator against their competitors.
And Ingram Micro is quite well placed to be able to unlock some of the vendor funds for the partners. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So as a global distributor, when we're talking about the main vendors that we're focusing on today, so if that's Microsoft, AWS, Oracle, GCP, we have access to all of the relevant programs in there, which means we can help our partners gain access through proxy, through ourselves. Another challenge as well is the professional services piece. A lot of partners can build their own engineering and consulting capability, and that's projects end to end. But then also when you come to annuity part of the business, and we're talking managed services or support services, that's a whole different ballgame. So often a customer would want 24/7 access to support engineers. So it's then building that team that's available at all times with the right skills. That's going to be Monday to Friday, so it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, bank holidays, Christmas Day. Again, that's a huge investment that individual partners need to make to be able to suffice their customer needs. So that, that's again is a key challenge. So how do you build a professional services part of your business and also the annuity part of your business?
And the good thing is that Ingram Micro's portfolio of services means we are in a position to help our partners with all of those challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll often describe it, all of our partners have the customers. That's the key thing. But a lot of our partners don't necessarily have the capabilities or all of the capabilities we've just spoken about. But that's where we, as Ingram Micro, are coming as the services engine to support those partners wherever that may be needed. So whether or not that's from helping our partners go in position and win a solution, our team can do that on behalf of the partner or in support with the partner. And then once it goes into the professional services part we just talked about, we have the team that's sat there and available to support the partner and be the partner's execution engine with our engineers, our consultants, our architects, as and when needed. And then also with the annuity play. So again, back to the managed services, we have that capability.
That's actually fantastic because Ingram Micro can then support the partners across the entire life cycle with our services value add, like you said, wherever the partners need that support. How else do you think we can help partners, especially when it comes to cloud services?
Yeah, so we've talked about how we can act as the augmented capability or skills for the partner, but the additional value add that Ingram also brings is to support partners that want to go on that growth journey themselves. So where we may have a partner today that isn't or doesn't have a cloud services practice, but they want to do that, and whether or not they want to build their own team, then our solution architects and our wider Ingram Micro team can actually help the partner on that journey. So whether or not that's layering in our solution architects to help the partner understand what technical skills they should have, the types of people that they should employ, direct them down the path of certifications that they should be getting, sharing the IP that we have and our capabilities and our motions, for example, so we can actually take those partners on that journey from particularly being or specifically being unable to deliver a service today, and then take them up through that path so that in whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, they become the experts in a given service and area.
That's great. So basically, Ingram Micro can help partners set up a successful cloud business, augment any of the services they might need to be able to scale the business, and ultimately alleviate any of the challenges they might face on this journey.
Absolutely.
So what should the partners, if there are partners listening right now and they are very interested, what would you say to them? What can they, what would that next step be for them? How can they reach to us?
Yeah, so I think the next step is really to let's contact us. We can talk through with them. We can understand their capability today, what they as a partner, what their strategy is. So we can look at their 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans. We can understand where their gaps are today, and then we can talk through how we can support them on that journey. And we put together a roadmap, a plan with them. Back to what we've been talking about, we can help them go out there, find their first end customer around a cloud services opportunity. We can support end to end, so there's no reason for them to fear opening a conversation. Even if it's about something like AI, we can do that on the partner's behalf. We can get them their first sort of use cases, get them on that road to now being able to deliver cloud services to their customers. And then, as we've talked about, we can then support them on that growth journey to make them capable themselves.
And I think another thing is because, like you said earlier, the whole, this industry is so dynamic that I think another value that we add to the partners is we don't stop. We are evolving and we are helping our partners evolve, meet their end customers' need as the market dynamics shift and change all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Our IP is our partner's IP. So, we will always look to be one step ahead of our partners. That's our duty to do that and make sure we stay relevant. We will put together motions. So we've got lots of motions that we've created over the last year, for example, whether not it's the Copilot Adoption Factory or accelerated migration around AWS, our ability to access bespoke funding for Azure projects, for example. That's our duty to go and access those and keep one step ahead, and then sharing that down with our downstream partners.
Thank you very much for joining us on our very first episode. And this is not the only episode. We are doing a complete series to help our partners understand the whole portfolio of services that Ingram Micro offers. So stay tuned in for the next episode in the series. Thanks and bye for now.